Hello, my name is Ken Dixon, and this is the weekly edition of the Market Update. And we've got a new weekly candle, which is right here. As you can see, the market is no longer indecisive. It has made a move up. Now, I am a little bit excited because in a previous video, I said that if Bitcoin daily closed over 39,000, I would go in and reevaluate my bear position. All right. Well, guess what? Daily closed above $39,000. $39,003 to be specific. Now, because there is no such thing as a triple top or triple bottom, I have no choice but to essentially reevaluate that position because we now are banging against resistance, right? Just like we saw on the 4-hour earlier, we have consolidation under resistance right here. That's what I'm seeing. So that tells me that price is trying to rise. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to, but it's trying to, right? So the buyers are starting to equal out. Actually, they're starting to surpass the sellers at this point. Now, because we are talking about the higher time frames on this particular video, I've gone back to the weekly, and I want you to take a look at the stochastic RSI here down at their bottom. You see how that blue crossed over the red and it's starting to go up at this point? All right, that is a very bullish indicator right here. All right, and staying with the bull here, we do have an increase in volume from last week and the week prior to that, it looks like. So we do have what appears to be a volume increase. Wherever volume goes, so goes the price. Now, to give the bear side its due credit here, we do have what could be the formation of Bitcoin's largest head and shoulders in its history. Okay, this could be the other shoulder forming here. On this pattern, we just kind of have to wait until we get a couple more weeks into it and see which direction it kind of goes in here. But that's if you're a bear and you're looking at it from your standpoint here, you do have what could be a head and shoulders. Now on the daily, the bear case, of course, is still the bear flag, the huge bear flag that we're seeing on the daily here. That flag is still in play right here. And you also have an oversold stochastic RSI down here. So price has to go down a little bit, if you want to get that stochastic back into, a buying territory technically. But there is a saying that if you want a stock to go up, it needs to go into oversold and stay in oversold. Even though we are talking about higher time frames, I did want to know why price did not hit $40,000 because it was streaking up to it earlier today, as you can see from the two candles here. So I jumped on the 4-hour, which generally gives you a good insight as to what's going on. And I found that the moving 200 was acting as resistance right here. So that's what stopped it from hitting $40,000. It's not to say that it's not going to break that resistance like it did with the moving 50. That's what prevented it today from happening. So that's where we are with King Bitcoin right now. Okay, so here's our weekly candle one more time. We do have what could be a reaction off of the moving 50 week, and a lot of times whenever it bounces off that moving 50, there is a respectable bounce off of that. All right, doesn't necessarily mean that price is going to continue on its macro uptrend, but we do see a bounce, a reaction off of that moving 50. All right, so there you go. On the news side of things this week, the largest story is, of course, the fact that El Salvador voted to make Bitcoin an official currency. Now, look, I've been in crypto for a long time, about 7 years now, just over 7 years, and I did not expect Bitcoin to be adopted this quickly, to be honest with you. There was a lot of pushback initially as a result of being related to or associated with, the drug trafficking and all this money laundering stuff. Those things had to be overcame in order for Bitcoin to get to where it is now. And then in 2017, we started to see a trickle of adoption from the older financial institutions like CBOE and then CME at the beginning of 2020. And then it was in 2020 that we started hearing about large companies bringing Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies onto their books, right? Not just supporting it as like a form of payment or anything like that, but they were actively buying it as an investment to hold. And now we've had 4 years of large financial institutions and large companies adopting Bitcoin and giving it the legitimacy that it needed to be something other than a form of payment for drug dealers and hookers and things like that. Coming at it from that standpoint, it would seem like an inevitability that eventually someone somewhere in this world would adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender. But if you are actually involved in it through all of this up and down, man, this has been a long road. It has not been easy to stay in the cryptocurrency community, especially after the long run-up in 2017 and the hard crash in 2018, and then just waiting years for that value to return back, to be accepted by the larger world outside of a small community of people sitting in social media like crypto Twitter. So yeah, a lot of people are going to see this as a success, right? El Salvador, sovereign country, has recognized Bitcoin, this damn thing that we have been a part of for so long, finally as a legal tender. Yeah, we're going to see this as a success, even though we may not directly have had anything to do with it. We've been here the whole damn time. And now I'm telling you here right now that it is an inevitability that the wider majority of countries will accept Bitcoin or some type of cryptocurrency as legal tender. This is the advancement of technology, and it will not be stopped. We cannot stop the advancement of technology. It is the advancement of humanity. And this fact is already recognized by JP Morgan. Even though JP Morgan opposes the adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender, they already recognize what's happening. They see what's in front of them. And as a result of their recognition of what's going on here, they're already sounding alarms, especially to the IMF, because Bitcoin is anti-central banking. All right, it is decentralized finance. Decentralized finance, which means there is no central banking system. All right, and JP Morgan is freaked out by this. If you don't think the IMF is shook by the adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender, even by a small country like El Salvador, you don't understand what's going on. This is much larger than a cryptocurrency. This is much larger than a crazy little community sitting on social media. This is a financial paradigm shift backed by the advancement of technology. And the IMF knows this. This is the first real threat to the central banking system since it was created. And having spent so much time, so many years of my life involved in Bitcoin and in cryptocurrency, what I see in this headline, and as the rest of the world watches little El Salvador adopt this financial and technological advancement ahead of them, the one thing that comes to my mind is, judge me by the enemies I've made. And now you see why my company's motto is build your revolution. If you're involved in cryptocurrency, you are a financial revolutionary. I know that sounds extreme and some people may be put off by that, but that's what you are. All right? It's come time to accept that and to accept the fact that we are winning. We are financial revolutionaries that are winning against a large central banking system. I'm an investor, I'm a trader, I'm a hodler, and an analyst, but I am not a financial advisor. Thanks, folks. We'll see you later. Have a good night.